everyone, and welcome back to my doll collecting channel. Today I'm going to be showing you a display update of all my American Girl dolls and Maplelea Girl dolls, as well as some other dolls that are on my display shelf. I'm just going to be going over how I organize my display shelf and also my goals and hopes for the future for this display. In general, I have been searching for another white shelf. I've been looking at thrift stores on the side of the road, even including Amazon, like buying one full price with fully adjustable shelves, because American Girls are kind of an awkward length when it comes to shelving. And the two shelves here I got for $20 each from Facebook Marketplace. I would love for that to happen again, but I am willing to pay full price for something, but it's been impossible to find. And I also live in Canada, so I don't have options like Target, and where I live I don't have options like IKEA. And even if I drove to IKEA, which is hours away, they don't have the bookshelves that I'm looking for. So I would love to have another white shelf here that would be like a fantasy shelf here for my custom Dungeons and Dragons dolls, but also for the new Disney Princess line of dolls, which I haven't received any yet, but I would love some Disney Princess dolls, but they haven't released a character that I'm absolutely in love with yet. If they released a Belle or an Elsa or Anna, and even Merida and some other characters like that, I would definitely consider purchasing them and putting them on an additional shelf over here. So I guess I should start with the top of the shelves here, because even though these are not my favorite lines of dolls, I do have some in-box and out-of-box other brands of dolls like Barbie and Monster High. And I do have a full bin of Ever After High, but I don't have a place to display them because there's a lot of them. But you know, I have, you know, a Twilight Barbie, I have my American Girl board games, I have a Creep Reduction, Draculaura, and then G1 Draculaura new in box. I have some Frozen dolls because Frozen is my favorite Disney movie. I have some out of box and in box. And then I have Raya, Last Dragon doll there, which I found at a dollar store actually, and that's another one of my favorite Disney movies. So that's what is up here, my Disney dolls, but mostly Frozen. This shelf here is a mixture of my Barbie princess dolls that I have thrifted and some Rainbow High dolls that are my favorite. Now, if you've been following this channel, you might know that I sold a lot of my Rainbow High collection just because it wasn't really my thing anymore. But I did keep these ones and some other ones that I am considering keeping as well, but these ones are my absolute favorite. Then we have the Disney princess dolls, which I absolutely adore. I love Barbie princesses. I have my Princess and the Pauper Annika doll. I want an Erica so bad, but I haven't been able to find her at thrift stores. So that would be a dream doll to find, is an Erica. I do have Erica's dress, to be honest. I got it in a Barbie dress lot that I got from the thrift store. So I have Erica's dress, but I don't have the doll. So maybe I'll just buy the new doll on eBay, but they're like 50 bucks. So it's kind of like a bigger decision. But yeah, I have some of all these Barbies have been thrifted, and the Rainbow High, sorry, I got brand new over the years. But these are my favorites, and I have them on display here as well. So I'm mostly going to be talking about American Girl and Maplelea in this video because that's the big doll line that I collect. It's been always been my favorite. It still is my favorite. And even though when I was younger and I didn't know about American Girl, I loved Barbie. So Barbie has a special place in my heart. But American Girl, as soon as I discovered it at 10 years old, I was obsessed, and I have been obsessed ever since. This is how I display my dolls. So this isn't really going to be an all my dolls video. It kind of is, but it kind of isn't. So normally with my all my dolls videos, I list them in order of how I got them and received them, but this is how I display them. And how I typically display them is in chronological order of the time period that they're set in. These two dolls here, those are Girls in Many Lands dolls, another line of American Girl dolls that were out during the early 2000s. I got both of these for $30 off of eBay. They're not in the best condition. I got them as a kid. And the one in the blue dress there, that is Cecile, and her legs fell off when I was a kid. So they're hot glue gun together, which isn't great, but I even I asked the hospital if they fixed them and they said no. So that was in 2010. But anyways, we have Isabel as well in the red, and I like having them in my collection because it's a unique part of American Girl history, and I would love to have some more, but it's just not a top priority in my collection right now. And in the green sweater, we have Kaya, American Girl's first indigenous character. She's one of my favorite dolls in my collection. She is absolutely stunning and gorgeous. Then we have a re-wigged Felicity, and then we have Elizabeth, Caroline, and Josefina. So Kaya is from the 1760s, I believe. Felicity and Elizabeth are from 1774. And Caroline is from 1812. Josefina, I believe, is from the 1820s. So on this display, we have one of my favorite stuffed animals here. That is a little otter stuffed animal that I got when I went on a family trip to Tennessee. And he's one of my favorite stuffed animals ever. And so he's just chilling out with Kaya. Then this lamb I got from the thrift store for $1. And I gave it to Felicity because it kind of reminds me of the lamb she has in her collection. It's not quite the same, but I thought it was cute, and it was like 99 cents or $1 or something like that, so I decided to get it. And then I have this little itty bitty baby caring for baby Olivia, or I called her Olivia. You can call them whatever you want. She's wearing a porcelain doll outfit that I got from the thrift store. Next we have my Maplelea shelf, and I love Maplelea. It has a special place in my heart because this was the first doll that I got. So Taryn in the green shirt there, the green and blue, she was my first 18-inch doll ever. I loved her so much, and I still do. She's in really rough shape, but I received her for my birthday in 2008, so it's been a long time. So she's just in really rough condition. And how I display this Maplelea shelf is by order of what province they're from and how geographically they order. So Taryn is the doll that's most to the west that I have in my collection. If I had Charlesea, she would be first because she's in British Columbia. Taryn is from Alberta. Then we have in the pink Brienne from Manitoba. Then we have Sila from Nunavut, which so she's in the middle. And then we have Jenna from Nova Scotia, and then we have the doll at the end, Clara, and I found her in Prince Edward Island, so I say that she is from Prince Edward Island because I found her at a thrift store and re-wigged her. So this is my Maplelea shelf, and the reason it's in the middle, and there's a few reasons why this shelf is in the middle and it's not another historical chronologically, is because I want the Maplelea dolls to be displayed in the background of my videos when I'm sitting in a chair in front of the shelf, because I do have, like, I love American Girl, but I also love Maplelea a lot, so I want them both to be represented in the background of my channel. And I also just want to show people that, like, you can play with any doll you want to, and any 18-inch doll, and it's okay to like dolls that aren't just American Girl. So if you like Our Generation or My Life As, that's totally cool and valid. And I just want to kind of show representation of different doll brands on my channel. And I genuinely love Maplelea and American Girl the best. I do love them equally. I just think that American Girl has an unfair advantage because American Girl has way more dolls to choose from. So naturally I feel like my collection is going to be more American Girl dolls. And then also a big thing is the historical line, and I love history, so I'm a little bit biased there. But I do love Maplelea dolls. I feel like their quality is really good, and I do highly recommend them to anybody who is interested in them. So it can be for any reason. If you're Canadian and don't want to buy an American Girl doll, or if you have an American Girl collection and you're an American and you just want to have a different kind of doll, I highly recommend them to anybody because they are really high quality. And don't trust their stock photo images. They look a lot better in person. And I also say that about American Girls. Whenever someone's like, oh, I don't like this new face mold, it's like, see it in person, because the stock photos always make them look weird, like always. So here is where it gets a little bit chaotic in my doll collection. If we're doing the timeline thing, it jumps. So first we have Kaya and the dolls that are kind of like Regency dolls, and then it goes Maplelea, and then it goes to Victorian dolls. So this is my largest collection of, well, it's more like quote unquote Victorian dolls. Because whenever I call them Victorian dolls, sometimes people debate in the comments being like, but they're from America, you can't call them Victorian. But like, I don't know what else to call this period. So I guess like 1800s. And then also like Samantha is technically Edwardian because she's past 1901. She's from 1904. But anyways, so this is like my Victorian-ish shelf here. So we have Mary Grace in the back corner there, with Cecile, both from the 1850s. And the reason I put Mary Grace first is because she has the first book in the series. Then Cecile, they alternate in the two books there. Then we have Kirsten, from 1854. So technically Mary Grace and Cecile are from 53. So Kirsten would be next with 54. We have Kirsten, then we have my custom Marta doll, which is just like U20. Then we have a new doll in my collection, Singing Bird. I think she's going to be Singing Bird. I was going to call her something else, but then I realized she looks a lot like the book illustrations for Singing Bird. I was going to use a different doll for Singing Bird, but she doesn't really look like Singing Bird in the books. This doll really does, and I think this is just like U42. She's one of my newer dolls. And so right now she's wearing some Pioneer clothes because she doesn't have any Indigenous clothes. So we're just pretending that Kirsten and Marta let her borrow some clothes for now, because I need to buy her maybe some of Kaya's clothes or something like that. Next we have Alice, who is, I think, from 1864. I think I remember reading that she was the same. So Alice is based off of Alice in Wonderland. So when I have a custom doll, I try to make them a doll from historical literature. So this, actually Alice was the first American Girl in my collection. And I called her Kirsten for years, but she's not actually a Kirsten. She's a just like you three. But she's now Alice in my collection because I used to dress her up as Alice all the time as a kid. But, I want to say she's from 1864 or maybe 68. I can't remember, but I put her there because that's when the Alice in Wonderland book was released, around the 1860s. So if I get an Addie, I don't know if she'll come before or after Alice, but she is in there. Then we have Jonathan, who's wearing the gray hat there and the black cloak. He is named after Jonathan in Dracula. So I am a huge fan of the story Dracula, so I wanted a character from that, and I just felt like Jonathan really fit with this character. So he is from 1897 because that's when Dracula was published. Then we have Samantha and Nellie from 1904. And then besides Samantha and Nellie, the two dolls that have the big bows. So we have the blonde doll with blue eyes and the white bow, and the red bow with the blonde hair. Those two are Bridget and Jenny. And the reason I chose those dolls is because they're thrifted dolls, and I based it off the book or the movie. So if you read Samantha and Nellie's books, Nellie's sisters, which eventually become Samantha's sisters as well, they look different. Like Jenny has dark brown, almost black hair, and Jenny has red hair. So that's the books, but in the movies they're both blonde. And so I just kind of based off of the movie because I found these dolls at the thrift store, and I thought I always wanted a little sister for Samantha and Nellie. So I thought I'll just get these and make it based off of the movie. So that's just the dolls there. And then we have Ashlyn and Willa and Ashlyn, Emerson and Willa there. Don't know what names they are. I just dress them in Victorian clothing because it's easy to find at thrift stores. You take the porcelain doll clothing and put it on these dolls. So they're chilling with the Victorian dolls right now, but as you can see, they're not on a shelf. They're on the ground technically, which is not the best thing in the world. And also we have Ashlyn's skunk, because Ashlyn has a pet skunk because she's a funky character. But yeah, that's the Victorian dolls. So this shelf is a little bit chaotic, and it's not my favorite thing in the world, but I'm slowly working on it, and I was making changes to it before I started recording this video, so it's still a work in progress. And this is my vintage shelf because it has all the dolls from Claudie to Courtney. So in the back there we have Claudie, and then technically if we were doing it in order we would have Kit, but Kit doesn't fit in the display shelf with her wheelchair, and that's like a biggest challenge that I am trying to fix and overcome, is how do I get Kit on the shelf. And I have to do some major rearranging maybe to figure out how this all works, because I don't like the fact that she's not on the shelf. So that's the challenge that we're trying to work out here. I would put her in this little space here, but it's just slightly too small. So I'm trying to figure out, where can I find a box that's slightly smaller than the American Girl box? And, well, maybe some of the boxes are smaller. Anyways, I gotta play around with it a little bit, maybe even move them somewhere else on the shelves. So, anyways, it's not perfect. That's probably why I hesitated to make this video for a long time, is because this shelf is not perfect. But we have Claudie and Kit, Nenea, Emily, Molly, Mary Ellen on the second shelf there, next to my version of Ivy, which is just like you 40. I think she's a 40. And then we have Courtney. And we have Kit there, but then also very, very temporarily, and I mean, like, I'm gonna be figuring this out soon because I don't love this, but this is the only spot I have on my shelf. I have these two dolls here. These are gonna be my Dungeons and Dragons custom fantasy dolls, because I'm a huge fan of fantasy, and up until very recently American Girl didn't do any like fantasy type dolls, except for the Disney princess dolls, which I would call it a fantasy type line. So I'm a big fan of the Disney princess dolls, because I like Disney a lot, but like I find the Disney dolls don't have the same quality as American Girls. So I think these American Girl Disney dolls are like, maybe I should make a whole video on this, but I do like the Disney princess dolls. I feel like they're just really high quality and stuff. So, and they're American Girl dolls, which is fantastic because I love American Girl, and I also like Disney. But anyways, these are my two Dungeons and Dragons dolls. I have a tiefling doll in the purple hair, and I gotta do some crafts to give her some details there to make her more fantasy-like. And then my half-orc named Betty, which is the one in the green there, which I'm definitely gonna add elf ears to her, but I don't know if I'm going to dye her green. That was the plan originally, but I don't know. People in the comments are kind of talking me out of it, so we're gonna have to see how it goes. But anyways, these are my two fantasy dolls that I have right now, and I want to create a new shelf so I can put all my fantasy Disney princess dolls on. But the shelf thing has been a struggle. So, yeah, for right now, as of right before recording this video, they are on this shelf. But most of the time they've been hanging out on the Maplelea shelf, which is okay, I guess, but my Maplelea dolls, I kind of want them to be on their own, and they're not really fantasy dolls. They're like more realistic, so it doesn't really fit. And I also kind of want that shelf just to be Maplelea. Also on this shelf, I have two pets that I also got from thrift stores. So we have Emily's dog here, the little poodle, which is not officially Emily's dog, but I just always feel like it belongs to Emily. And then we have the bunny, which I put near Courtney and Ivy, because I think Julie has a bunny. So if I get Julie, this will be her bunny. Also, side point, I do have an American Girl horse. And when I got out of the thrift store, I thought it was Penny. Turns out this is just like you horse. but it works well because now I have an American Girl sleigh in the background that I pull out on Christmas time, which I also thrifted. So a lot of my stuff is thrifted, to be honest, which can save you a lot of money. So we have the final shelf here, and this is my modern American Girl doll shelf. So in the back there, the doll that's kind of in the shadow, that's Covey. That's Girl of the Year for 2023, Theater Kid Girl of the Year, which is one of my favorites. Then we have Grace, Girl of the Year 2014. Then we have Sage, Girl, or not 2014, 2015. And then we have Sage, who is Girl of the Year for 2013. So the Girl of the Years are in the back there. Then we have Maritza in kind of the coat here, or the plaid coat, and then McKenna and Yvette from World by Us. And that's it for the official characters for American Girl. Also the doll in the white in the back here. So I'm probably blocking the lighting here. But this is Lily. This is a Hearts for Hearts doll. So any doll that looks like this, both my Bridget and Jenny are Hearts for Hearts dolls as well from the thrift store. And this doll right here is, I'm making her a custom indigenous doll that I would add to the World by Us line. I'm a huge fan of the World by Us line, and I really wish they made more characters for the World by Us line. And I would love for them to have introduced an indigenous character. So this will be my indigenous character here. I have a few more ideas for World by Us characters, but this one I was able to find for a really great price, and I don't know what to call her next. I've been thinking of different names. If you have any name suggestions, just like a modern girl name, like something like Amanda or something like that, like just a cute little name. If you have recommendations, leave it in the comment section below. I was thinking Taylor too, but like Taylor Swift kind of thing, but I don't know. We'll have to see what name pops up for me for her, but she's a very, very cute doll. And when I bought her, a lot of people were, and unboxed her on this channel, a lot of people are like, she's my favorite, and I can see why. I have my Magic Attic doll, Rose, and I found her at a thrift store, and yeah, I bought her because I thought it would be kind of cool to add to my collection. Not really a doll line that I know much about. I know a fair amount about it. I have, you know, some Pinterest boards about them and stuff, but I think they're cool. But she was like $6 or something like that, so I couldn't complain. And it turns out, based on my research, I think she's indigenous, or she goes on an adventure with indigenous people, so that's kind of cool. So I have her in my collection right now. She can't wear a lot of American Girl clothes because she has a very slim body, so I have to use a lot of elastics to kind of shrink things down and stuff. But yeah, what do you think about that? I don't know. She's kind of cute, but I feel like she sticks out a lot in my collection. I was going to add her to the Maplelea shelf because I think she kind of looks similar to Maplelea dolls, but I don't know. It didn't really fit. I don't know. But also on this display shelf, I have my mini dolls. So I have Mini Emily, Mini Nellie, which are in rough condition, and then Molly and this little McDonald's toy, Isabel, and then my dog, Sugar, which I love the American Girl pets from, you know, the early or the mid 2000s. So overall, that has been my modern shelf, and that's another reason why I put Maplelea right there, because when I'm sitting here, these are the two shelves you see in the background, and just having the modern dolls is just kind of cool. So yes, it's kind of weird that, you know, the Maplelea dolls kind of interrupt the flow of the chronological dolls, because we got the older historicals, and then the Victorians, and then the vintage dolls, and then modern. But that's not really something that I think most people are paying attention to when watching just my general YouTube videos. So I think that this is just a good theme to have in the background of my videos. So that has been a tour of my American Girl Maplelea, just general doll shelves. Again, it's not perfect. I want to add some things to it. Probably get another white shelf to display my other dolls. I would love even just one of these white shelves to have one of these white shelves just entirely for Maplelea dolls and different generations of Maplelea dolls. But right now, in theory, I'm trying not to go crazy because, you know, I'm in that phase of my life where things are kind of crazy. I'm in my mid-20s now, so it's the crazy time, if you know. So I don't want to get too much stuff and then let's say I have to move across the country or something, even though I really wouldn't want to do that. But anyways, so this is my shelf and I don't want to do anything too crazy, so I have to work with what I got right now. But let me know in the comments section below what you think. And do you have a doll shelf? Oh, and I forgot to mention I have just under 40 dolls in my collection. 18-inch dolls. I don't count the Welly Wisher size or the Barbie ones. I do have a lot more if you can count even the Barbie dolls that I have in boxes not on display right now. But yeah, that is how I display my American Girl dolls. Make sure to follow my Instagram and my TikTok, and I will see you all, and make sure to subscribe, and I will see you all next time with another doll collecting video.